Uh, Currently, we are doing the changes in customer info, right?
Uh, Customer info, that one actually, web part related one is done. So that's why. So now we are going to do that Office Fabric UI and PNPJ related things. Right? That's why I thought to open my web part stuff. You were saying something? Your voice were breaking.
No, no.
Let's open the solution. Mm, Before moving to that Office Fabric UI, and there is one more thing. Calling API hosted in Azure. This is also sometimes they may ask you, and or even you also in your project you may require to call some API which are hosted in Azure. Okay, let's see how to call client. So calling the API which is hosted in Azure, and if we are calling from FPFX web part means directly we can't call because that API would have protected in the using Azure Active Directory. Okay, for that we need to do few steps like to access Azure Active Directory Protect API. First, we need to do configuration at Azure level. Azure level. So this I'll tell you at a overview. Okay, create the enterprise application and provide uh, necessary permission to it. Note down application name and its client ID. That will be comes up client ID in Azure as well. So we saw right in SharePoint MVC pattern, client ID and client data. Same thing available in Azure as well. Okay. Uh, so all application from here they'll be creating the one application. If they create the application, it will be having all the information and they'll be giving the permission. Get the list of permission scope export to the application. Those things they are setting. Okay, this is the one thing. Okay, until this, most of the time we won't be having permission. Okay, and there will be Azure AD team. They will be helping us to do. Okay, we may need to give either documentation or some steps what we need to do in that Azure Active Directory. Okay, mostly we won't be having permission. And till this we have seen Azure part, but in SPFX there are few things we need to do. Okay. In the package if solution file, we need to add this one web API permission request. You remember this? They will ask. So what is the node in which we need to add? Okay, web API permission request. Under this, we need to add what is the resource. I mean, the application ID we have created, right? Then application ID we need to give and scope, kind of scope, like read permission, user impersonations, some kind of permissions are there. Those permission we need to mention here. Here is domain isolated. Below to the domain isolated, we can add this property. Okay. If you need to you need to access multiple resources means you can add multiple resources as well. Same, same like this. You can add multiple resources. You can add and give permission. And this is domain isolated. We have seen that. So it is related to this application permission only. So if is domain isolated true means if we add it as true, this web part will be having permission to add to access particular API in the Azure hosted, right? So if we are adding another web part in the same page, that web part won't be having access to by default. If it is true, if it is false means that web part also will get access to call that API. Okay, but we don't know about that particular web part, and multiple teams are using, and we want to restrict means we need to make it true. Then only this web part in that page will can access the like secure APIs. Okay, that is the purpose of each domain isolated, and web API permission request is to get the permission from the Azure Active Directory. Okay, once it is done, we need to call the API using AAD HTTP client. So for SharePoint install, we have used HTTP client only. HTTP client and HTTP client's response we would have used. Okay, but here we'll be using AAD HTTP client, Azure Active Directory HTTP client. It means okay. And then simple same way. This dot context dot AAD HTTP client get client and passing the API URL. That's it. It will automatically work. AAD HTTP client factory. These things only. AAD HTTP client. That also you remember. I'll ping you this URL as well. One second. And uh, final step would be we have given we have added in the package file and using AAD HTTP client we have implemented everything. Okay, so there is one more step. Okay, we need to deploy the solution. Deploy solution we are not seen it. Consider we are adding that app config like not app config app catalog file. Okay, so if we add app catalog file that uh, SharePoint tenant admin will upload the file and will approve it. After uploading it, there is one more step. I'll go to SharePoint admin center. If you go to SharePoint admin center, under advanced there is option called API access. Same link we have seen this one, right? What is uploading the request? Okay, so here only if we upload the like SPFX like our component in the app catalog and it is approved by the catalog owner means here there will one request will come. Okay, pending request from here the SharePoint admin need to approve one more time. So this approval only give enable to act enable to connect with the Azure API. Okay, after approval only we can able to get the data from the other sources. Okay, so there are three steps. First, if the API hosted in Azure, first we need to create application at the Azure Active Directory, and for that application we'll be giving permission there itself. Then with that application name we will be doing customization in SPFX in the package-solution file under web API permission request. We will add what is the resource and what is the scope. We will be mentioning it. Then once it is mentioned, using Azure Active Directory HTTP client, AAD HTTP client, we can make communicate. We can call that REST API. Once everything done, we can't test directly. We need to upload the SPPKG file in the app catalog. That app catalog needs to be approved. Once it is approved, we need to go to SharePoint Admin Center. From Admin Center, again, we need to approve from the API access. Once it is approved, then our SPFX is authenticated to connect with that API. Okay, whatever operations provided in the API, we can do after all these steps. Okay. Mm, you go through that like that link and remember those key terms like AAD, HTTP client, and web API request and permission levels. Those things and all you remember it. Sometimes they may ask in interview. Okay. Any doubt in this?
No.
Okay. Sorry. This one, everything missing. And one more thing. So if we without HTTP Azure Active, if we don't implement Azure Active directly if we do Gulf serve, it is working, right?
Yes.
Yes, and that time it won't work because we need to authenticate at the admin center. Okay, first time we need to upload package and get it approved. Then only Gulf serve will able to get data from the uh, that particular source. Okay, that also we need to remember when we are executing, when we are calling the Azure Active Directory API. And there is one more thing, MSIL. Sometimes we may need to pass access token. Okay, access tokens in it's something client ID, client secret, and all we have seen the same way. Access token is one way of authenticating the particular API. Okay, you go through MSIL. Using MSIL, we can pass that client ID and client secret, and we can get the access token. That access token also needs to be passed to that API header. Pass access token in header. So you know this Postman tool and all.
No.
Okay, okay. I'll tell this access token. Access token will be like this. I don't know the exact values. Okay, so Azure function they are creating, authenticating, registering the app. See, you can see get dynamic CRM access token. From here, they are generating the access token with the client ID and client secret. Okay, client ID and client secret. They are passing tenant ID and all is organization client ID and client secret. For each resource there will be separate client ID and client secret. With that only we can make it authenticate. Okay, tenant ID is the organization level. There will be only one tenant ID. We go to Azure Active Directory, directories. So this is the tenant ID we are using. Okay. So for each organization, there will be only one tenant ID. For cognition, there will be only one tenant ID. Under the tenant ID only, they will be creating multiple applications. So for each organization, TCS, Infosys, even like your clients, whoever it is, for that organization, it is common. Okay, for any application that any there will be only one tenant ID. Okay, where is that application? So this is the tenant ID. Using this tenant ID, we'll be creating the access token, acquire client token. Be something some predefined methods and all that. Using this, they'll be creating the access token. We need to pass this access token at the header level. You can see there is HTTP client. The client they are passing request header authorization. The authorization header value they are calling for authorization. They are passing the access token like this. Bearer always they will append this word bearer before the access token. Okay, after bearer keyword, they are passing access token. Okay, this is the format. In most of the time, they will be passing the not most all the time they will be passing the access token to the AP authentication. I'll ping you this one as well. You note it down. MSIL is the one to it will help you to generate the authentic like access token. Okay. Don't confuse too much about this. You just go through like steps to be followed to authenticate the AAD Azure Active Directory steps. Okay, these things and all. Once you get the project and once you involve in project activities and you get some work related to this means you will get to know. Okay, once you go through and once you try each step you will get to okay. First we need to generate the access token and we need to pass these things one by one you will learn. Okay, don't confuse too much about it and don't panic about these steps. Okay, you first go through that basic like authentication, that one alone. I am just these things and all I'm saying there are these concepts and all available and you may use it at any time. Okay, that's why I'm telling. And one more thing I thought to tell is Postman we have seen, right? Postman is a software. Okay, you can install in your machine. Okay, it will be like this only. Okay, if you see this here, uh, they are passing the URL, that API URL they are passing, and this is a get or post call, that one. And in the parameter, query parameter, authorization, headers, all those things you can see right in the image. Okay, uh, without coding, if you want to test some APIs whether it is working or not, we can do those testing through this Postman application. That is the purpose. Okay, say for example, you might not have developed a particular API. Some other teams would have developed, and they will be sharing, your team manager or that another team will be sharing the API to you, and they ask you to consume that API in your application. In this case, before integrating that API into your application, using this Postman application, you can test it in your desktop itself. Okay, Postman itself, with their help, you can call that API, and you can pass necessary information like, for authentication, if it username password needed, you can pass username password or client ID, client secret, or even you can generate the access token and you can pass that access token as well. Okay, with that, in the below you will be getting the result. Okay, in the data you can say, right, ID text like that. If it is throwing error, means it will throw error message. What is the error message? Like not authenticated, not available, whatever it is. 200 means, 200 okay means we are getting the proper response. 401, 404 and all. 401 means not authenticated. 404 means not available. So these things and all, once you start using the Postman, you will be familiar with it. Yeah, so Postman is one of the tool, like it is to test the particular APIs without writing the code. Okay, that is one way. And there is one more tool available, Swagger. Swagger, this one, we can install it in the Visual Studio through Nugget packages. Okay, this also something similar to the Postman, but from directly from Visual Studio we can test. Okay, but anyway, we need to code it. We don't need to code it. Through Nugget packages, we add the Swagger in our API solution. Once it is installed, from there, if we run the that API solution from the Visual Studio, this Swagger page will open. After that, we can test it from the Swagger UI. Okay, you remember Swagger UI as well. Okay, most in some interview, they are going very deep, means they will be asking, have you used Swagger, and how you will implement those things and all, they will ask. But you can say, I never use Swagger and all. Mostly I would be testing the application through Postman. Add Swagger. See, they create a particular web API that is doing some simple calculations, and after installing, they are adding Swagger through Nugget packages. Okay, then they are changing the default URL to I slash swagger some configuration. Once it is done, once they are execute, once it is done, they'll run the application. It will be the output. Okay, by default, that URL will come, and if there is anything needs to be passed, all the APIs details will come. From here, you can test. Okay, it's also one of the simplest way of testing the API. Okay, Postman as well. Go Postman. Go, don't go through. install and check Postman. Okay. So if you go to any of the application, you open this, go to developer tool, network tab. If you go to this network tab, whatever the API call is present in this page, it will come automatically here. Even if you call your own API, even if you call API in your own custom solution, that API also will come here. Okay, by clicking on it, you can see all the details like request URL. This is the URL, like sending access token and kind of method. It's get method, status code, and its output, request header, response header. All those things you can check here. Okay, this is this you will be using when you are debugging the particular API response, okay, whether it is coming properly, whether it is taking more time or not, how much time it is taking, those things and all you will be using this network tab. Till now, we would have used these three tabs only, elements, console, and source tabs we have used. Network tab is the one we will be using when we are calling the like third-party API or the API hosted in some other servers. If we need to test in our SharePoint page, we'll from here only we'll get all the API related information. Okay. Any doubt?
No,
Okay.
I'll check them.
Yeah, yes. You check and go through like API related information and let me know if you have any doubt. Okay.
Okay.
Use Office Fabric. So this Office Fabric UI is the one like Microsoft provided like packages. Okay, using it, from here they have provided multiple controls and multiple icons. So we have seen on the day, right, for the balloon icon and all. So that is provided by Office Fabric UI only. Likewise, there are multiple icons, multiple controls they have provided. Okay, for the rich look control and to familiar with the same kind of EUI which Microsoft using to use it, they will be going with Microsoft Office UI Fabric related control. In some cases, this is an like if it is like generic application and it is not having any control means it is not we won't be using Office Fabric UI. Something like buttons and we are designing some forms and there are multiple controls and many things are there in we mostly we will be going with Office Fabric UI only. Okay, I'll go see, these are the controls basic. I'll go to that link they would have given somewhere. These are the controls they have given. If we go to button, standard primary. Okay, if you see the code, so code. See, this is these two controls they have added. Stack is something like in which order they want to like add the controls, and default button, primary button. These two are from Fabric UI. Okay, default button they have used. So these two things they have imported using this, adding the control like default button, standard primary, and I'll use directly copy these two lines. I'll do this to you as well. I referred this link from here. I copy these two lines, import lines, and paste it in TSX file. Stack I copied. Every section I place this stack. Tokens, remove it. Disabled. We don't need disabled. I'll remove this control itself. I'll remove this check property as well. On click. Right now we don't need on click event. Also remove all the properties. Go disable focus. This one also I remove it. Directly we added default button and primary button. Now if we go to here, I stack token not used. I'll remove stack token. So you can see we have added control. We didn't do any coloring or any such CSS. So it is automatically apply white and blue color. I'll show you the classes they have used. You can see ms-stack for stack control. It is automatically added a div, and for the div, it is added a class ms-stack. Okay, and for buttons and all, it is depends on each button. It is added ms-button, ms-button default, ms-primary likewise. So by default, it will be having adding their own class files, and it will apply the CSS. We don't need to do any customization if we start using their like Office Fabric UI controls like buttons, checkbox, dropdown, all these controls you can use. Okay, and icons as well. Icon link I pinged you right. Sometimes give me a minute. Yes, this one we have seen yesterday. Like if you click on any of the icon, it will give that name, and we can directly add that one. Okay, using Office React. You don't need to install by default. It will come Office UI Fabric React library. Instead of button, we'll see give icon. Okay, then we will use that icon. Icon name. What is the name we can give? We take from here. We'll give bank icon. Bank details. Added icon, bank icon, and saved it. I'll have C control. You can see, right, that bank icon also came here. Okay, these things and all align, and we can make it in one line. Those things and all using CSS we can. Okay, something like edit icon. You if for this header you want to give some icons, those things and all we can achieve this through Office Fabric UI. Okay. Um, and these are like some of the like things we will be using when we are designing and developing the SPFX reports. Okay, and PNP JS SPFX. PNP means pattern and practice. Practice and practice. Pattern or pattern and practice. Patterns and practice only. Okay, this is kind of library which will help to like it does not help like minimize the development effort. Okay, we don't need to like full line of code like to get particular SharePoint library. So if we PNP is patterns and practice. Uh, Provide DLL for .NET application and library for paint application, paint SPFX. We can also use in Power. Sorry, what is that? PowerShell script. SPO PowerShell script. Also, we can use PNP. I'll show you one simple line. PNP PNP to get list item. PNP list item SPFX. So see, first we will be installing that PNP.js. Once it is installed, we will be importing SP. Okay, once it is imported, get all list items from the list. This is one line of code. So once it is imported, this is one line of code. Await sp.web.list dot get by title items dot get off. That's it. Okay. Once you are familiar with PNP means mostly in SharePoint SPFX, you will write code in PNP only. You won't go even go with REST API. Okay, get items dot get by ID. Everything are very simple in one line, and you using this await method, you can make it as synchronous as well. Okay, this await is to make it a synchronous. After completing this line only, it will go to that next console dot table. This will go to. Okay, that asynchronous call API, that issue also will get resolved easily in this method. Okay, so you go through this link. and there are a couple of other things like controls, like using PNP, adding the controls like people pick a taxonomy field and doing the list and library activities also there. Okay, we'll try to add we'll try to install the PNP and we'll do some simple operation like getting the list items through PNP. How we can do those things and all we'll see on Monday. Okay, till then you go through this PNP script and you can use PNP in .NET as well. Okay, .NET and PowerShell as well. You can use that also when you find time. PNP in .NET. Design for work Microsoft 365. You can add through Nugget packages and you can do like something simple activity like creating the list and fetching the activities and all. They would have given in 1 or 2 lines. That's the benefit of using PNP. Okay, you yes. Once you start using it, you will like okay. It will give you will feel like compared to that client object model and REST API, it is very simple like that. You will start feeling it. We will see like basic operation and like in the SharePoint form, like if you are designing the taxonomy field or people picker field, how to get automatically get people related information and taxonomy terms and term sets and all, how to fetch those things and all using PNP, we can simply achieve it. Okay, we don't need to write n number of code to get all the information and to bind it with particular text box. Nothing is needed. They have done everything, and we need to add the control which they have provided. It will automatically do all the job for us. Okay, those things and all we will see on Monday. Okay. Only thing. So today we have covered. mm like consuming Azure AAD APIs from SPFX, how to call, and Office Fabric UI. These two things we have completed, and we have given intro about PNP, patterns and practice, how to use it, and what is the benefit of using patterns and practice, and all we have seen. In detail, how to install patterns and practice and adding it in our SharePoint solution and all, we will see on Monday. Okay. Any doubt till now?
No, I'll check this.
Yes, you should. Okay. Okay. Once it is completed, we'll see that routing RS will go with the extensions topic. Okay. So with this, we have covered all web part related stuff in SPFX. Okay, mostly 70 to 80% from these topics only in interview they will ask questions. Okay, after completing this only they will be going with the extension and what kind of activities we have done in extension. Okay, that most very 10 to 15% only they will ask in extension later. In even in some times they might not be asking as well. Okay, but this is very important topic web parties and even if you get SPFX work means in that also 70 to 80% web part related task only. Extension, customizer, app customizer, and form customizer. These things and all very less task only because form customizer and all we can do it through Power Apps itself. Okay, for that they won't go with SPFX later customization.